All right, so let's go ahead and set up a scenario now where we're actually using a backing track that I've created. Now, I've got, I think, 9 backing tracks or something that I did for this course. And then I'm also, I think I mentioned this before, but I'm also going to be supplying you with a couple of the Kemper profiles that I'm using for this as well. Now, if you don't have a Kemper, obviously you don't need to use those, but if you do, you can use those for whatever you want. Okay, so basically what we want to do is we want to start off. Now we've got all of these tools that we've talked about, expressive elements that we've talked about, fundamental practice things that we want to get ready for. So now we're actually going to start using all of this. So this particular backing track here that I've made, this jam track, is moving from E minor to D to C and then back to D. And again, my point was to keep it very straightforward, so it's something that we can start building from, okay? So the first thing I want to know is the key. Well, I know the key, it's E minor. I'm using these chords, which is, again, technically spawning from G major if you know your theory, and if you don't, it's okay. But the first question you have to ask yourself is, if the song's in E minor, what does that tell you about your construct, your field of play, right? Do you have pentatonic? Do you have diatonic? What positions do you know? You know, all that kind of stuff has to come into play the minute somebody tells you, you know, this song is in the key of whatever. So you start building a framework of ideas. Not only am I building a framework of the scale that I'm going to use, whether it's pentatonic, diatonic, whatever, which in this case would be E minor pentatonic or E natural minor, E Aeolian, right? If you know your diatonic stuff. But I'm also going to start thinking about the chords and laying out some chordal ideas. For instance, E minor I know is here. Okay. I also know I've got E minor here. I've got an E minor sitting right there, okay? I've got E minor. Then I've got D. Well, D here, D here, D here, right? D here, D here. C, one, it's a whole step lower. So, right? So again, I know where these things are on my fretboard, and that's what I'm going to utilize. I'm not saying you have to see all the things I'm seeing. I'm just telling you that this is what's going through my mind if I know the song is in the key of E minor and the chord progression is E minor, D, and C. So I'm building out some playgrounds, if you will, for me to do my thing to. But I need to listen to the song and decide what's the tempo, what's the groove, right? That sort of thing. So I can start figuring out what I can and cannot do to interact with this music. And what I mean by that is the tempo, again, is a marker of speed. And there are some things that I might technically be able to do at 120 beats per minute that I'm not able to execute at 150 beats per minute because I can't physically play them. Now, I could convert them from 16th note to 8th note, or maybe a triplet thing or whatever. Again, all those things can be done with my ability to think and to apply these ideas. But if I'm working on a particular lick, and that lick, you know, can only be executed at a certain speed because I've only built it up that far, I need to know what tempo this is. Maybe I don't know in numbers, maybe I don't know exactly what it is because, you know, we're just jamming or whatever. But as soon as the music starts, as I start exploring, I'm already figuring out what I can and can't do at that tempo. If I've got time to practice at home, of course I want to know what the tempo is. You know, I might tap it out on my, I've got a metronome on my phone that I'll tap out the tempo and figure out what it is. And that'll give me a better idea. But in order for it to do that, I've got to know what I can and can't do at that tempo as well, if that makes sense. So we can't just go in blindly and then expect to be able to execute all these great things that we've learned if we don't know whether or not they're going to fit at the tempo that the song is. And then the next thing is groove. Like in this case, the groove is a triplet feel. Let me play a little bit so you can hear what this sounds like. Let me get this pulled up here. All right. Okay? So now I've got an idea in there. Now I'm going to start taking all of these things that we've been talking about and start applying them. Now, I could just improvise for you, but instead of doing that, I want to start with some of the basic routines that we were doing in the last section and start building my way around. So, the first thing I think about is with this da-da, that's my tempo. Now, it has a triplet feel. It has a swing feel. Now, that doesn't mean I have to play that fast. I might, let's see, I'm going to come up to E minor pentatonic just to begin here. Okay? So if I think of it as a triplet, let's go, so that's what I'm saying is, if it's got a triplet feel, which it does, and I want to play that triplet, I've got to technically be able to execute whatever it is. Whatever it is I want to do, I've got to execute that at this speed. If I can't do that, that's not an option for me. I have to do something else. That's what improvisation is all about, is figuring out what you can and can't do in the musical circumstance you find yourself in. You don't let the audience know that you can't do X, Y, or Z, but you know that you really can't approach that thing, whatever it is, at that tempo, or you can, and now that's available to you, okay? But that's what practice, that's why you got to do this over and over and over. So, I've got my E minor scale. All the different things I can see on the guitar that are relative to this E minor idea. Okay, so as the music starts and I've got this dun, 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 dun. I can play at that quarter note, bum, 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 dun, dun, dun. I can play the triplet going. Now again, I'm playing it boxy. If I was using my expressiveness and dynamics and all those other things, I'm not just going to go dun, da, dun, da, dun, da, dun the entire time. But I want to show you what my options are. So as I'm listening to this, let me start it again. Or I could go. So that's where we are so far. Again, just meandering, whatever. I'm not really improvising yet. I'm just trying to kind of show you. So the next level up would be my full triplet. That sort of thing. So it's going to be substantially faster though, right? So those are the palettes that I have to work with in terms of its groove, okay? Now, I don't have to play fast all the time, but those are the things I have. If you want to play guitar solos with complete confidence that sound more fluid and musical than ever before, or play solos over different styles of music in a live band where you're effortlessly trading licks with fellow musicians, and ultimately have more fun playing guitar, then you're going to want to pay close attention and watch this video the whole way through. Because you're about to discover a simple way to combine fretboard knowledge, scales, modes, chords, triads, licks, melody, technique, speed, and accuracy into an awesome solo that tells a story instead of sounding like random notes or a scale. without spending months trying to figure out how to pull all the pieces of the puzzle together yourself just to end up confused or picking up a bunch of bad habits that could prevent you from ever playing guitar solos like you want to. My name is Steve Stine, and I'm a guitar player just like you. Even though I have a degree in music education and have toured across the world playing guitar, I've always thought the way soloing is taught, in pieces without a clear way to put them all together to play a great solo, was overwhelming. Maybe I'm old school or something, but I never really got how some people can learn soloing by mastering hundreds of scales, patterns, licks, and spending hours on fretting and picking exercises. And I've tried all kinds of stuff, like I'm sure you have, and it sure has been frustrating. Like going through dozens of tab books, going through my favorite solos note by note, spending hours digging through every scale book I could find and practicing every position up and down the fretboard, or playing along to solos by my favorite guitar players that sound good, but not being able to create my own from scratch. After spending all this time and money, soloing just never really clicked. I thought, there surely must be something I'm missing that will give me an aha moment where I can play fluid and melodic solos in my own signature style. That's when I decided to throw everything I'd learned out the window and start from scratch. After a few weeks, it dawned on me that I'd been thinking about soloing the wrong way. You see, I always thought solos were made of pieces of scales, licks, patterns, and whatever cool tricks I could do, but I discovered a shocking fact. Guitar solos simply tell a story. A story-based solo goes through several sections: an introduction, rising action, and a climax. It might restate or build on a theme or melody from the song. It sounds awesome because it serves the song and audience instead of the guitar player. When I learned how to tell a story, my guitar solos improved tremendously. I never had problems trying to figure out how to start or end my solos, and never ran out of ideas because I was laser focused on telling a story within the song. I started sharing this with some of my private students, and they started getting similar results. I want to share it with you too, and I found the best way to break down old patterns, keeping you from playing solos at a high level and ensure that you're improving your solos day after day, week after week, is my new 6-week soloing challenge. Now here's some of what you're going to discover. In week 1, we're going to talk about how to set up and tune your guitar to get the best tone with the least amount of effort. The critical difference between planned playing and improvisation. Why good technique can kill your ability to make music and how to fix it. A simple way to create your own signature style that doesn't take hours of practice. In week 2, we're going to learn how to develop razor-sharp timing in 10 minutes using a metronome. How to dial in your signature sound using your existing gear. A simple 3-step soloing formula that trains your brain to hit the right notes even if you don't know scales. In week 3, we're going to learn a quick and easy way to visualize notes on the fretboard, which means you'll always know where to place your fingers when you're soloing. How to play the most important scales for soloing across the fretboard. In week 4, we're going to learn how to use phrasing and dynamics to play authentic solos that never sound like a boring scale. One simple 3-note per string pattern to play lightning fast licks even if you struggle with alternate picking. How to create a groove that tells a story in your solos. In week 5, we're going to learn how to use escape routes to connect ideas and play musical solos across the fretboard without getting stuck. 5 picking patterns every lead guitar player must know. And in week 6, we're going to learn how to build an impressive guitar solo from the ground up the right way, so you have a proven plan to begin and end your solos with a bang. This 6-week soloing challenge isn't just 6 weeks of videos. It's going to be 6 weeks of videos interacting with me, the GuitarZoom staff, and fellow challenge members. I'll be going live once per week for 6 weeks with you, which I've never done before, so I can help you wire in all the things you'll learn during the challenge, and you'll have an opportunity to ask me questions. You don't have to worry if you can't make it, because I'll post the recordings in the private Facebook group and your members area. What makes this different from my other courses is there'll be accountability as well. You'll have activities to keep you engaged throughout the challenge, so you stay motivated and see real, noticeable improvements in how you think about and play solos. Plus, you'll be going through the entire process with a group of like-minded guitar players who are focused on playing better solos. And the encouragement you find and connections you make on this journey will be so powerful. Similar good courses cost hundreds of dollars or even $1,000 at Berklee College of Music Online. Or you can do like I did and spend thousands of dollars in college learning what I'm going to show you. With all that said, this could easily sell for $1,000. After all, similar courses sell for $1,497. Of course, it won't cost you $1,000, not $500, not even $100. You get to enroll in the 6-week soloing challenge for just 3 payments of $26.80. Or you can save 17% if you want to make 1 payment of $67. Another one of the most important things you can develop as a guitar player is your technique. That's why I've included my 6.5-hour Essential Techniques course as a special bonus. You'll learn the secrets of building your picking speed and accuracy, strumming, bends, harmonics, and whammy bar tricks to spice up your guitar solos, and dozens of licks that will sound awesome in your solos. If you were to buy this on the website a few months back, it would have cost you $99, but you get it free when you order today. And if you order right now, you'll also get my Music Theory Made Easy 2.0 course free. It originally sold for $99 and covers all the music theory shortcuts you need to play freely across the entire fretboard and really get creative when it comes time to solo. With this course, you're going to overcome problems like worrying about what scale will sound good for leads and alternative scales you can use to improvise better solos than you ever thought possible. You won't have to worry about feeling lost or confused because your fingers will be trained to instantly find the right notes without any hesitation. So to recap, you get to start my new 6-week soloing challenge, which starts on May 2nd, and all the great bonuses I just mentioned for 3 payments of $26.80 or 1 payment of $67. And you're protected by our 30-day guarantee. Truly, put it to the test for a full 30 days and see if it's right for you. And if you don't think it's a good fit, no big deal. Just contact our friendly support team and they'll issue you a full refund or exchange. No questions asked, no receipt required. However, I can only offer this price and bonuses for a short time. After that, the price increases to $199 and the bonuses won't be included. So click the button below and get started today. As soon as you place your order, you'll get a receipt in your email with instructions on how to access the course. You'll also get an email with your link to join the private Facebook group for challenge members and immediate access to the Essential Techniques and Music Theory Made Easy 2.0 bonus courses. If you want a simple way to put all the pieces together to play solos that tell a story across the fretboard, then you're absolutely going to love 6-week soloing challenge. And it's simple to get started. You log into the course and watch your first short video, and as you build your skills, you move to the next video. You complete the weekly accountability activities and attend the weekly live sessions, always at your own pace. You can watch and repeat lessons as many times as you need, and your soloing ability will skyrocket. Remember, this could easily sell for $1,000, but you can have it today for only 3 payments of $26.80 or 1 payment of $67. And when you order, you'll also get an email with the link to the private Facebook group and immediate access to the Essential Techniques and Music Theory Made Easy 2.0 courses. You'll learn all the techniques you need to play killer solos and all the scales you need to improvise solos over any song. The 6 live sessions and bonuses alone have a $918 value, and you get our 30-day guarantee. But remember, I can only offer this price and bonuses for a short time. After that, the price increases to $199 and the bonuses won't be included. So click the button below and get started today.